Uh, Now you mentioned it earlier, but like Baldur's Gate 3 was supposed to be out in early access and it got pushed back to tomorrow.
It is tomorrow. I'll be streaming
And
it.
this early access is saying that it's got 16 races and 6 classes. Is that comparable to previous games?
I need you to be way more specific about what you mean by previous games.
Baldur's Gate in the past has had that many races? Yes, no?
Way less races, way more classes.
Okay.
So Baldur's Gate 2 had your D&D 2.0 classic races of human, elf, half elf. I think it had half orc in there and a couple others, right? But it definitely had more classes and it had subclasses. So if instead you didn't just have paladin, you also had cavalier paladin, magic breaker paladin, fucking the other one, the other one, right?
Sure.
And so on and so forth. What with this being Divinity, because this is also a sequel to Divinity 2, right? Divinity 2 didn't have classes.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, it doesn't have classes.
Well, no, what do you
In
mean it's also
Divinity,
a sequel to Divinity?
it's made by the Divinity devs.
Okay, so like engine
This is, for all intents and purposes, Divinity 3 as well.
spiritual successor wise because of the mechanics of Divinity resembling Baldur's Gate.
Yeah,
Okay, got it.
like the verticality, the way it's going to work, etc. Developer sequel, not actual sequel, guys. It's the next RPG by the Divinity devs.
Okay.
These people. Anyway, that
Hey,
game didn't have classes.
MP3 people are happy with less acknowledgement, so don't worry about
Oh,
it.
I know. That game didn't have any classes. It had all like skill points, and then you can like put points into fire, and then you can learn fire skills, kind
Okay.
of thing.
Okay.
Which Divinity 2 is one of those games that I absolutely adore. And all of my pals that we all play 14 together have all played ad nauseum. No one ever gets past Act 2 because the story's kind of weak. And I'll be honest, I don't like I usually don't like do whatever skill systems. I like classes.
Do whatever skill systems, as in you have a giant tree that you can build into your own thing.
No, it's not even trees. It's just like put points into this, and you can use these types of abilities and build your own class. Because in Divinity 2, it's really easy to make terrible characters, like terrible characters.
So you have abilities, but you don't have the stats to make those abilities work for you.
Yeah, you have this giant variety of custom builds that you can make, most of which are bad.
Do you like that you can make bad builds in Souls games?
No. It's why Dark Souls 1 is my most hated of all the stats, because it has a trap stat in resistance, which I think sucks.
Okay, so you think there should always be a bit of a safety net to catch people
I
from fucking
I I
themselves
like
over.
classes.
Mm-hmm.
The only exception that I have to this is like a Fallout RPG, but that's slightly different because you only have one character. You're only making one character, right? It's a little different. In Divinity, you're trying to build 4-man custom parties of completely user created things with every skill you can. It's a mess. So hearing that Baldur's Gate 3 will have classes, very excited.
Isn't the failure of that open system more so just badly implementing their stats as opposed to making sure
No,
that
they're very simple and easy to understand. The problem is that there is just there's a wide distance between good and bad in that game, and the game's kind of hard. So, a lot of games that have like huge wide open build possibilities have a difficulty level that means like, most builds will muddle through.
Mm-hmm.
When I played Divinity 2 the first time and was like trying to make my own builds and was building my character how I thought I would want to build them, I ended up in situations where just like I couldn't progress. And originally the respec was after the first act, which is after a really tough boss.
So this is not a goblin. This is actually running into walls.
No, I am not the only person to have this problem, definitely.
Okay.
It's a combination of the game is actually difficult and building your character is complex. So it's pretty easy to fuck up. Whereas when you're talking about Baldur's Gate, there are decades worth of resources on, hey, is your character a wizard? Jam as much intelligence as you can into him.
Now,
because it's a wizard.
Okay, but here's the thing, I guess. How much of that, though, needs to remain faithful to Dungeons and Dragons?
In a Baldur's Gate game, a lot.
So
it's using the 5th edition rule set.
Exactly. So they don't get to really freeball it if D&D matters here.
Yeah, it's Baldur's Gate 3 is going to be taking place in Forgotten Realms,
mm-hmm.
and it's going to be using 5th edition rules.
Mm-hmm. So they can't just do what's best by genre if they have a prior rule set to adhere to. Yeah.
And hearing that is actually very exciting to me because I like a little more structure.
Thaco ain't coming backo?
No, Thaco's gone. Thaco's been gone for like 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. That developer has made great games, and the problems that I have with their games is directly in opposition to the type of game they have to make under this license.
You will never hit armor class 0. In brackets, you will not. In brackets, hit armor class 0. Yeah.
That goes so stupid. Oh my god.
So, this is being made by the people you trust, and it's a franchise that you like. So there's no reason to look at this and have the same, let's say, I don't know, Diablo 3 energy.
No,
about the situation.
They did early access for. I want to say they did early access for Divinity 2 as well, and that worked out very well. Because it's only going to be like 1/3 of the game, and it'll be in various states of completely fucked up and broken for quite some time. The other thing is that because this is a Larian game, I fully expect 6 months after it comes out, they will announce Baldur's Gate 3 Enhanced Edition, which fixes every nitpick you ever had with it, but your saves won't be compatible, so start over. There's a really weird thing with their games where if you want to play them at all, buy them and beat them day one immediately, or when the Enhanced Edition comes out.
Ugh.
If you get in a couple months in, you're going to be halfway through their game, and they're going to announce the enhanced version, and you're going to be like, fuck.
Is your save fucked?
No, it's not fucked. It's just there on the old one. That doesn't have any of the new stuff.
Okay. So, I haven't been paying attention, but what I know of Baldur's Gate is that the camera is way, way, way out here. Right?
It's isometric as shit. It's way out. Yeah, you're right.
So when I'm looking at this character creator that looks insanely detailed, like approaching Black Desert levels of detail.
Mm-hmm.
What are we doing?
So here's what they're doing. Divinity 2 was actually way more faithful to Baldur's Gate than this, because Divinity 2, it would you'd be way up, right, looking down, but when you talk to somebody, you would just kind of zoom down a little bit.
Okay.
In this gameplay, you're going to be way up
Mm-hmm.
looking down. But when you talk to people, it's going to Mass Effect you.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right. That makes perfect sense. That's awesome. Nice.
And you can also like zoom in the camera and move it around to your liking.
Rad.
Right.
Okay. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Cool. That.
Also, you remember last week or whatever that I was talking about? They shouldn't make sequels to decades-old games.
Mm-hmm.
This is a really good example. The story of Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 is about the god of murder, and that story is done. And this shit, the whole it's called Baldur's Gate, but that is a location
Mm-hmm.
in Forgotten Realms, and it is basically just saying, "Hey guys, it's another one of those
Mm-hmm.
that does take place in Forgotten Realms. You'll probably meet Drizzt.
Mm-hmm.
Has
Yeah.
nothing to do with that shit. You will not meet the god of murder. That is an old thing.
Drizzt, though. Yeah.
You could hang out with Drizzt in Baldur's Gate 2, and it was the fucking craziest thing in the world. Because I didn't know it was in the game. And then I just turned a corner and Drizzt was there. I was like, "Is that fucking Drizzt, Joe Erden? Are you serious?"
For it just me, it's just that book cover of him jumping off of the fucking castle top with the blades, and then the two wolves or whatever his subpays familiars are.
The Panthers,
The
man.
Panthers, whatever. And he's jumping down. He's like, ah, fucking action hero, D&D action man. He's
The
doing
D&D edgelord. He's a dark elf drow that woke up to justice, man.
Hope you have a good time naming your character a variation
He is
of that.
responsible for ruining every single elf character creator in every MMO ever.
Okay. Do you remember the game Gotham Imposters?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the roster in that game?
No, fuck no. Christ, I
Okay.
never played it.
So the roster of Gotham Imposters is a bunch of weirdo cosplayers that are cosplaying as Joker or Batman. And remember the chubby guy at the beginning of Batman Begins?
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Yeah, not Batman Begins. Sorry, exactly. Dark Knight. And he's like, we can do it too. That guy. It's a game full of those people. All right.
Yeah.
So, point of this is, that's the feeling I get watching all of these Drizzt character creators, arrow, line, tilde, Drizzt, line, tilde, arrow. And I almost want to see a gallery of all their weird faces and variations of everyone trying to make their own with the spelling.
It's fucking crazy.
It's the best.
When I played WoW, the amount of Drizzt named variations.
Nah, I'm Drizzt though.
That were night elf hunters with a panther and double swords. It was a fucking abomination. It was a plague on the land. It was so out of control.
Dristy baby.
People don't know how over that character was.
I love it. So anyway, that's a pretty cool thing, I think, to have. I want character creators with that level of detail, and if they're having their conversations Mass Effect, that's a fucking sick thing that I think quality of life wise should just be in as many things like this going forward.
This genre has had a lot of ups and downs, and there's been a lot of good ones, but there's not been one to come along that hits that Mass Effect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that just hoping this is the one. That would be cool.
Seeing your create a character feels pretty good, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like everything should do that.
It's almost like if you spend a lot of time customizing your pubes, you should be able to see them.
especially in non-combat conversational moments.
Especially, yes.
Okay. Well, you see how that goes with your halflings and your tieflings.
I don't know what the fuck. Tieflings are weird, man. They're like demons, man. That's crazy. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look up the races.
Descended.
You can play as a
from-
fucking Githyanki? Holy shit! That's a fucking pull.
Devil bloodlines.
Nobody gives
man.
a shit about the fucking Githyanki.
Okay, hold on a second. Humans, Githyanki, peerless warriors from the astral plane, elves, drow, half-elves, dwarves, halflings, tieflings.
And then the subdivisions therein.
Yes.
Githyanki are like fucking not orcs. They're weird. They hate mind flayers. They hate them.
Are you a gold dwarf or a shield dwarf? Yeah. That character creator looks very impressive, and I would like to see more of what that can do. Looks pretty. And you know what? They have clean faces.
They do have clean faces. It's important.